Welcome to this other episode of Pound for Pound. I'm your host, Gentry Sehuddo, aka Triple C.
And the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamar Usman.
And guys, we have a special guest, one of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest welterweights of all time, George St-Pierre. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause, man.
Oh, man.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here with you.
You know what's surreal for me right now, George, is like, at one point, obviously, you are the greatest welterweight of all time, but, you have Kamar Usman next to you.
So you flip-flop that quick? that quick.
Title defenses, but
you can't compare the time, we were in different times.
But obviously, you watching the reign of Kamar, what he did at the welterweight division, I mean, you had to have had your lenses on. At that time, you're thinking comeback. You're thinking, obviously you fought Michael Bisping. You're thinking about that certain return. Watching Kamar Usman make that reign. How was it? How is it that you saw his situation? Could you put yourself in his shoes? Because you're there at one point.
Yeah, he had an amazing ride, and it's not over. He's still competing. I don't know your current position now, but he's still out there. When I retired and I was thinking of coming back, I think it was Tyron Woodley who was the champion at that time. Then I fought Bisping, and when I retired, I think it was Woodley, but it's after, if I remember correctly, that you became champion, and it was an amazing performance. Took him down, and it was a great fight. Yeah.
So if I could say something, you guys had on paper the mixing of the fighting. I tell this to Kamar all the time. The ability of what you were able to do, how you mixed everything. I'm like, you guys almost on paper have the same style, but a different style. Because you guys knew how to mix it. It's like Kamaru always did a really good job, in particular that fight with Tyron Woodley. I'm like, why did he beat Tyron Woodley? Why did he beat a guy like Sean Strickland, who's very dangerous? I'm like, it was Kamaru's mixing of his level changes. Every time Kamaru would level change, you'd be like, all right, there's a double coming. Oh, nope, never mind. There's that overhand just came. So it's almost like a mixing. And obviously for you, Kamaru, watching George St-Pierre, how much, the way he mixed his fighting, how much did you take away from that?
It's, first of all, thank you, my brother. Now getting to know, it's amazing getting to actually kind of know you now and speak to you and talk to you. I get to learn from you. I think, when you're in the mix and you're competing, there's this, it's like right now, it's like we're sitting here and then there's just two lions that are sitting in the room. You don't know if they're gonna go at each other. There's that energy, so you always kind of on edge of, I don't know, is he sizing me up? Is he not sizing me up? So I understand that. I understand that position that you might have been in so many times. And, now being, in that kind of position, I understand, they say experience is the best teacher. So I understand a lot more now. So, I want to say, yeah, it's a pleasure. And, to answer your question, Henry, you've been in the UFC since what, 2007, I believe?
Yeah, it's a long time. I would have to look it up. I don't know the date by heart, but it's around that time. And it's interesting what you just said, Kamaru, about being on edge. Because I'm a little bit older than you guys, but you will find out soon enough that what I'm about to say is true, is that I used to be on edge all the time, especially when I was around other fighters competing in the same weight class as me, because you're always like, if he says something, it's going to be viewed as a challenge, so I'm going to be ready to... So you're always on edge, and it's true that that's how we are, because that's the business. It's not our fault, that's the name of the game. But as time goes by, and I retired, I made peace with it, and I'm no longer on edge with nobody. And it's normal because you're still competing, and I understand, and you don't want to change that, because that's a competitive spirit that you have, your ego. And you need that if you want to be successful, because that's what that's what makes you stand up during adversity. That's what keeps you sharp. You never want to lose that as long as you compete.